Welcome back to the cream of the crop, 4th and 31 podcast, your one-stop shop for all things college and SEC football. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a minute. And we still need more subscribers, guys. I think we got 5 more after last show. Let's try to get 10 this time. Nothing major. I'm your host, part of the Killer Bees broadcasting team, the Chad Bullock. And as promised, we have a Weagle War Damn Eagle on the podcast tonight, Mr. Craig Sanders. There we go. Also, the man, the myth, the legend, and the coach, Bo. And the Boo Bird, Mr. Bossman himself, Scott. Woo, these introductions are going to take forever. And Brant. I don't use lip balm because I'm related to Paul Feinbaum, Bayless. And Mav, we have got a great show tonight. It's going to be all championship the 4 major championship games, and then after that we're going to have a little Q&A with Mr. Craig Sanders here. Guys, let's get started. Let's jump right into this SEC Championship game, Bama versus UGA. 5th time they've played in the SEC Championship. Georgia has never beat them. Oh, I don't want to jinx them, but they've never beat them in the championship game. Let's go to our guest, our special guest barter of the show, Mr. Craig. What do you think about this game?
Okay, so Georgia's 7-1 against any other opponent in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but 0-4 against the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I really just don't see them stacking up against them come Saturday, man. That was a tough win from Alabama and Jordan Hare. Me and my wife were able to go. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for the Georgia Bulldogs to beat them. I just don't see it happening. I think they're kind of clicking on all cylinders right now. Alabama quarterback's playing really good. The only thing I'm kind of worried about, I say worried, I'm not worried, but Alabama fans should be worried about, is the running back got hurt at the end of the game. You know, he was on crutches when he left, but he should be coming back. I think they said that he was going to be able to go. Other than that, maybe get Ryan Williams some touches, and maybe y'all win that game by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Oh, 2 or 3 touchdowns. I like the way you think. As a very cautiously optimistic fan, I hope you're right. I could never pick a score that much. Bo, what you got?
Yeah, I mean it's like Alabama. I just feel like it's almost it's a mental edge at this point with Georgia. I mean Alabama has really. They have really put the screws to it, and they've scored a lot of points in those games. That's the thing. That's the thing that's really gotten me about that is if you go back and look at all these games, to the Bryce Young game, to the Mac Jones game in Tuscaloosa. I mean, Alabama has really done a number on their defense. The line's only 2.5. Georgia's a 2.5 point favorite. I mean, I don't want to say it's stealing. But Bama is a dog in this situation. I love it. I love Alabama as a dog. I'll take it all day. But you're looking at I just took down some basic numbers. Georgia's got the 40th ranked offense, Bama number 52, and Georgia with the 13th ranked total defense. Alabama with the 12th ranked defense. But I still think there's 2 areas where I think Alabama is just a notch better, and I think the coaching is pretty close. Light edge to Bama, but man, Kirby's so good. But then also at quarterback and on defense, I think Alabama is just a cut above it at both. And watch Bray Hubbard. Watch for him to make a big play. He seems to always show up in these spots and make big plays in these games.
Yeah, I agree. That, as a Bama fan, when you lose Caleb Downs, you're thinking, my God, we lost probably one of the best players on our defense. And then Bray Hubbard steps in, and then you're like, Caleb who? Brant, what you got?
I'll piggyback off that. I was a little worried when Caleb Downs transferred. I actually found myself thanking God that he didn't go to Georgia. And now he's at Ohio State. And, I mean, Bray Hubbard has really, really stepped into his position, man, and tore it up. He came in as a backup last year and really kind of perfected his game this year, and we're seeing that on the field. When it comes to Alabama and Georgia, I mean, you want to talk about cream of the crop, there it is. I mean, Alabama and Georgia is just 2 logos, 2 powerhouses just battling it out on a Saturday. I think it's going to be a really close game. I don't think it's going to be any big-time spread. I just think Georgia always plays us really, really close. I mean, we went up on a 28-0 last year, and they still came back, and we barely won the game. So I don't find us beating them by a lot. I think it's going to be really close. Ty Simpson's been really, really inconsistent in these last 4 games, which you hate to see from your starting quarterback this late in the season because you really want to see a perfected game towards the end of November and much less than, an inconsistent game. Granted, I don't think he's going to be there forever. I mean, we saw him at the beginning of the season after we lost to Florida State. He really took an extra step and started to tear it up. So I believe that he can get back in that form. I think he just needs a little confidence. But as for the game itself, I think we win by 3 or 7. I think we win by a touchdown or a field goal. I think Gunnar Stockton makes a mistake late. I think that we go up by a touchdown or we go up by a field goal, and I think they start marching down the field, and I think Gunnar Stockton throws a pick. Love Gunnar Stockton. Think he's a great quarterback. He is like every time I watch him play, I think this is a Georgia quarterback. Gritty, can run, can throw. Like, I just feel like that's what you get when you go to Georgia. But I do have him making a mistake late and costing them the game, and we'll see him again in the playoff, I'm sure.
Yeah, and one quick point, LT Overton is missing the game, not because of injury, but because of illness. Boo Bird, what you got?
You led me on there, right there, man. Injuries. This is what I've been paying attention to a lot this week on both sides. A lot of injuries on both sides. But I think this plays to Bama's favor in that Georgia's got some injury issues on their offensive line, and our D-line happens to be pretty dang good. And I think that's going to be the ultimate factor in this game. I do think, like Brant said, I think it's a one-score game in the end, whether it be a field goal, touchdown. But I do think that our D-line against their very, very hurt and young offensive line in this game is going to make the difference. And I do think Bama pulls away at the end. And it's going to come down to Ty Simpson too. I mean, he cannot make mistakes in this game. You're playing Kirby Smart. You cannot get out there and be careless with the football. You've got to hold on. You've got to protect the ball. You got to be able to move the ball methodically down the field and put points on the board. Turning the ball over is not an option here this weekend, guys. Georgia will beat us if we do. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, and hey, one more thing. The total's 48.5, and this game has typically gotten up and over that number. I mean, it's funny because there have been some pretty high-scoring games in this series. I mean, especially in the first half. And I kind of like that first half over. I think it was 23.5, and then you got 48.5 on the total. So that might be something to look at too.
And Bo, no money sprinkle on this game?
Oh, of course. If we take dogs on this show, we sprinkle that money line. It's a rule.
Big money, buddy.
You got
it. All right, now let's go to the all candy conference where Duke takes on Virginia. And this one, on paper, I know this one doesn't look very good, but I'm going to guarantee a Duke victory on this, and the ACC gets shut out. This is like a dream, like red alert scenario that I've ever seen one. A 7-5 Duke winning the ACC over Virginia. They get knocked out. Miami, who probably should be above Notre Dame, is going to get left out anyway. I got Duke big. Craig, what you got on this one?
Yeah, I'll go with you. I think they got that underdog fight in them. I want to see them get knocked out. Let me ask you this. So if Duke knocks them out, that ACC is not in the college football playoffs at all, correct?
No. James Madison would get the bid because they would then be the higher rated. If they win, they would be the highest rated sixth. They would fit in that sixth conference highest rated conference champion.
So if Duke loses, you get Virginia? Is
yes.
that the deal? Okay,
yes.
So would you rather see Virginia or James Madison? I guess as a fan is what you got to ask yourself while you're watching that game. And I really don't know. I could care less about either one of them.
Hey, exactly. Fair enough. Fair enough. We like to cover everybody, no matter how short the analysis is.
Now, if you're going to be like
100%. I just don't want to sit here and make something up because I haven't watched a single Virginia game.
Well, hey, I haven't either, to be honest.
Yeah. So, Craig, if you're going to be like that, then that surely means in your playing days at Auburn, y'all never lost to an ACC team, right?
Oh, buddy, we lost the one in a big one, boy. We took an L from Clemson in regular season.
Just kidding with you.
But the one that still stings to this day is that 2019 Pasadena. Yeah,
I know, because y'all had that one at the end, and that was a toughie.
Yeah. Was a tough one.
All right, Bo, what you got on this one?
Easy call, Virginia. And Virginia big. The last time these two teams played, I know. I want Duke to win. Trust me.
That's all I needed to hear. Next.
I want as much chaos as possible, but Virginia big. The last time these two teams played, it was 34-3. And then Duke got 2 trash touchdowns in the fourth quarter. You're looking at Duke with the number 109 ranked defense in the country going up against Virginia's number 21 offense. Huge mismatch there.
Mhm.
Edging the quarterbacks to Virginia. I really like Tony Elliott at Virginia and what he's been able to build. Give me the Who's big.
So
But
are you saying,
I'm pulling for Duke.
So is it like 1 in a million or 1 in a billion?
I'm more like 1 in like maybe 6 billion.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Slight, but there's
Yes.
a chance.
All right, Brant, what you got on this one?
I'll say this. I've watched one Virginia game all year, so I'll say that before I even continue. But
Hey,
That's
you better
one more
than
than
all
me.
of us.
I'll tell you what, man. Duke's offense, this is why we play the game of football, man. Any given day. And Duke's offense is freaking explosive. I mean,
That's right.
I think I saw a stat today was like the last 20 touchdowns Duke scored, like 13 of them been over 30 yards. Like, their offense is explosive. They can get in the end zone anytime they wish. I'm really worried if I'm Virginia. I mean, you're 10-2, but when you play somebody that's got heart, heart's a hard thing to beat. I gotta say, man, I can't pick Duke just because of the 5 losses. I just couldn't. I couldn't, in a good conscience, pick that team over a 10-2 Virginia. So I'm gonna pick Virginia, but I would not be shocked if Duke runs out there and scores 21 in the first half, and Virginia has their hands tied behind their back and they don't know what to do. But I think Virginia wins. I think they get in the playoff, limited it to one Group of 5 team. Granted, I don't really care if it's Duke, Virginia, James Madison, Tulane. None of them are winning past the first round regardless. So, so I'm going to take Virginia. Actually,
All right.
do you know the spread on that game, Bo?
It's 3.5, and I love that 3.5, and then the total's 57.5. I think that goes up and over, and the Virginia team total over 30.5. I like that as well.
I'll take Virginia to cover too.
All right. Well, my official prediction is Leitner hits a 3 at the buzzer. Boo Bird, what you got?
Ooh, stinger.
Snooze fest. I'd rather watch paint dry than watch this game. But
I can
I
arrange
mean,
that.
I'm taking Virginia because I do think they're the better team. But I mean, I like everybody here. I'm pulling for Duke. Again, I'm
God.
all about the chaos. We've seen it already. And I think this is going to have a lot to do. This is going to kind of take into account what happens with Miami and Notre Dame and that side of things. So all of this is going to be affecting that as well. So I'm taking Virginia because of the better team, but man, go Duke. Go win.
Yeah.
I think this is the easiest blowout of the weekend, and then on top of that, Duke lost to UConn. So,
All right. Well, look, let's go to. I think this one's got to be the most fascinating one of the weekend. The Big 12, Texas Tech and BYU. And this is the game I truly believe why Alabama jumped Notre Dame, because if BYU wins this game, they're jumping Notre Dame. There ain't no question about it. Notre Dame's going to get left out because they don't want to, piss Miami off by Notre Dame getting in. I am hoping BYU wins this game. I want them to jump Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame deserves to be that high. Craig, what you got on this?
I'll piggyback off you. I'm with BYU kicking Notre Dame out. I'm not a big Notre Dame guy. Ever since Manti Te'o lied to me about his girlfriend, I don't want nothing to do with Notre Dame being in the playoffs. So I'm BYU all the way, baby.
All right. That's got to be the best answer. Scott, that's got to be clipped. Bo,
Yeah,
what you got on this?
for the love of Provo and Ty Detmer and that Heisman Trophy and the great Lavelle Edwards
Yes.
and that coaching tree, and that's something you should all look up if you ever get a chance. Look at the Lavelle Edwards BYU coaching tree. Phenomenal. Let's go Cougs. Point blank.
I think we're all.
Are you at a 50 and over bar, or are you talking about the football game?
Both.
Okay.
Boys, I think we're all Mormons Saturday. Brant, what you got?
I mean, it's so hard to talk about this game without talking about Notre Dame. And
Go ahead.
if there's anybody that doesn't deserve to be where they are sitting, it's Notre Dame. I'm not saying Notre Dame's a bad team, but you lost to Miami In no world should they be ahead of Miami. I don't care that they're blowing people out by 50 points. Head to head has to matter at some point. And I mean, granted, I think Texas Tech is going to stomp BYU. Texas Tech is a really, really, really good football team. A lot of size, a lot of depth. They are a good football team. So I don't see how BYU beats them. But I hope BYU beats them because I'm tired of seeing the Irish in the playoff. I'm just sick of it. I mean, get in a conference. How long are we going to let these guys trickle by and have a month off without being in a damn conference? I mean, it's so annoying. Dude, you're an independent. Cool. Nobody cares. That's not cool anymore. Get in a conference, play decent conference schedules, go to the Big Ten. If you're as good as you say you are, you should have no problem running through the Big Ten, right? I mean, they got 4 good teams, but I mean, you shouldn't have any problem running through there. I mean, it is my biggest pet peeve when I hear somebody go, oh, Notre Dame's beating everybody by 50. Yeah, I'd beat Stanford by 50 if I had Alabama's third string. Okay, it doesn't matter. Like, stuff like that is just so annoying. Regardless, Texas Tech wins the game.
And let's be honest, half of Notre Dame's rivalries are in the Big Ten anyway. I mean, you played half a Big Ten schedule when
Dude,
I mean,
Chad,
you can renew that Michigan rivalry too.
They said after week 6, they said Notre Dame's hardest opponent they had left on their schedule for FPI purposes was Pittsburgh. Okay, Pittsburgh, and they were number 24 in the nation.
Yeah,
I mean,
not the Steelers.
I mean, jeez.
All right, Brant, I'm going to let you get your blood pressure meds, and we're going to let the Boo Bird go. Okay, calm down.
Go Raiders.
Y'all are no fun.
Huh? Go Raiders.
No
Dude,
fun, man. Come on.
Have you watched Texas Tech play this year? They're good. They're good.
Yeah, several games.
They're good. I look. I mean, nothing against BYU, but I don't. I think they're going to blow. I want to say blow them away. 2 scores. They beat them by 2 scores. Do I want BYU to win? Yes, because of the Notre Dame chaos. We all love that. But Texas Tech's not losing this game. They're not. They're not. And I'm pretty confident.
Well, the first time they played, Texas Tech absolutely just mauled them. And then they kicked 5 field goals in that game. I mean, they left a lot on the field too. So, I mean, I think they beat them by about, 15, 17 points. It could have been 40. So, and they're playing in Jerry World. That's going to be just a lock, stock, and barrel Texas Tech home crowd right there. So
we do love BYU on this show, though. By the way, just for there are Cougar fans here, we do like BYU.
Oh, yeah, Steve, I forgot to mention, for the love of Robbie Bosco and the '84 national championship team, do it for them too.
And for the love of Taysom Hill,
Taysom,
Saints legend,
and Steve Young. We can keep going on, guys.
Puka Nacua.
All right, Big Ten championship game, Ohio State, Indiana. Yeah, I don't know. I think Ohio State's going to beat Indiana by 2 scores. I just have a gut feeling. I'm usually never right. Craig, what do you got?
Yeah, my weekend slate, Alabama, Georgia, is the one that I want to see the most. Me and my father-in-law actually go into it, but this is the one that's right behind it. Both teams have already secured a college football playoff spot. I know about Ohio State and Indiana's defense being number 1 and number 2 scoring defense, because my Auburn Tigers all year were number 3. Okay, because they ranked up there. So I see this being like a low-scoring game and coming down to a surprise onside kick, some kind of momentum change, field change, like position change, and that kind of wins the game. Now, who does it? I'm calling upset. I think Indiana wins.
Oh, and with the Hoosiers, Bobby Knight would be proud. All right, Bo, what you got?
I like Ohio State in this game. I think that they're better on the perimeter. We keep hearing Indiana about the Surratt kid. That's great. Well, I mean, Ohio State's got 2 first-round picks out, playing wide out. They've got probably a top 5 quarterback. I think they're better at quarterback. I think their defense is just a tick better. You look at this game. I mean, the lines come all the way down to 4. I think it started about 6.5. It came down to 4 today. But I mean, these are 2 very solid defenses, number 1 versus number 4. According to this, the stats I pulled, Ohio State was number 1 and Indiana number 4 defense. Ohio State 24th ranked offense. Indiana is the 5th ranked offense. But I just think it's football, and Craig can tell you this is so much about matchups. And I just think what Ohio State has and what Indiana wants to do kind of fits Ohio State's wheelhouse. And I'll take the Buckeyes to win and cover, and to get that number 1 overall seed for the playoffs.
Yeah, hey, and I left this out too, Bo, and not to be cliche, but I played with a Heisman quarterback, and Indiana has a Heisman candidate quarterback that's playing really good. I mean, he could change the game, and I don't want to misquote my Auburn Tigers too. We were number 3 in scoring defense till we played Vandy, and then it just went downhill from there. So,
hey, it happened to us last year, so I'm not saying a word. Brant, what you got on this?
So first of all, I'm definitely tuning in, man. This is gonna be a really good old fashioned game. This is my thing, and I kind of felt like after I watched Indiana beat Oregon in Eugene, I felt like I was kind of left with some question marks regarding both teams because I still feel like I haven't seen, the Oregon Ducks like they're supposed to be. They're talked about. Not to say they're not good or anything like that. I just ever since they lost that game in Eugene, I feel like I haven't seen or heard anything about the Oregon Ducks. They just like fell off the face of the planet. Granted, I mean, I think that's their only loss. So it's, they're still running around there sneaking in. But this is my thing about Indiana, and I've said this multiple times over the course of the year. Indiana just seems like one of those teams that they don't have to be bigger than you. I mean, they're not bigger than. I swear, when I watch them play Oregon, I'm like, dude, these kids are not very big. But yet they're running over Oregon like it's nothing. Like it's like the technique and the way they play the game and the way they view the game is just so perfect. I think Kurt Cignetti is killing it over there in Indiana, man. I mean, he is really, really turning them into a powerhouse. Everybody expected it this year, especially after the year they had last year. I didn't. I kind of thought, I was like, man, maybe it's a 1-year thing. Maybe he came in and he made a couple of good calls here and there. They go in and they go into the playoff. But I mean, this year, dude, he's really, really surprised me. Like I'm on the Cignetti train, man. He's a great, fantastic coach. I gotta go with Indiana. I'm going with Indiana on this game. I'm going for the upset. I think that they've been preparing for this game mentally for a while now. And also, this is kind of more of a compliment towards Ohio State. I know you don't get that a lot from me. But I feel like we haven't seen them make a mistake all year, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like we haven't seen them make a mistake. Like, and you know me, I'm a gambler. So, I mean, it's due. Like they're due to make a mistake somewhere. And I think, maybe it's the Big Ten Championship. They know they're in the playoff. Maybe they try a couple things. It doesn't work. Indiana takes the game and takes the number 1 seed, and Ohio State just goes to 2. No big deal, no harm done. You try a couple things, it doesn't work. Oh, well, you're still in the playoff as the 2 seed. So I'm going to pick Indiana in this game, and I am going to take them to cover as well. I think Fernando Mendoza, this is it for his Heisman campaign. So I think this is where he really tries to go out there and lay it out on the line, because right now I got Diego Pavia winning the Heisman. As much as I hate to say it, but I think this is the game, though. Fernando Mendoza goes out there, puts it together, and they take down Ohio State.
Oh, Diego. Boo Bird, what you got?
This one hurts. I'm taking Ohio State. I don't want to, but I am. God, that burns my soul. But Indiana's really good, and I do think they can win this game. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just looking at the track record here, and Ohio State's. This is going to hurt to hear, guys, all of you. Ohio State is the defending champion, and we're going into the playoffs. Until somebody beats them, I'm not picking against them. I'm not. And this is really the only reason I'm taking them in this game. I do believe this is going to be a close game. I think it's probably going to be a 1 score at the end. I think Mendoza's is playing for a Heisman, but so is Sayin. So both of these quarterbacks I expect to light it up. These are 2 really good defenses, so take that for what you want. But I think this one and the SEC Championship game are by far better than any of these other championship games, in my opinion, and for a reason. There's a lot of NFL talent on both of these fields. It's going to be great to watch, and I can't wait. It's going to be great.
What time is that game?
It's the night
Big Ten.
game.
Okay.
It's 7:30 on Fox. Yeah. All right. Well, Mob, let us know what you think. Notre Dame fans, you heard what the Unabomber down there said, so get on to him again. So, guys, what we'll do is now it's special guest time. Hey, It's time for our special guest segment. We want to thank Craig Sanders again for coming on. I know we all appreciate it, even though he went to Auburn. Thank you, Craig. We do appreciate it. I'm going to start off with a question. You went to Ayrton High School, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have a question. The Purple Cats. Is there a story behind the Purple Cats at all?
Okay, so we're the only ones in the nation. All right, there's not another Purple Cat mascot in the entire nation.
Wow, that's
I
awesome.
was in high school. It may have changed, but we were in high school. This whole deal. So the only story I've ever heard off of this is we used to have a guy that would come to the games, and you could smell the liquor on his breath. And when he was talking to you, we were in high school, and he told a story about back in the engine days. There was a man out there walking in the woods, and he had just got through smoking the peace pipe with the engines, and a Black Panther came up out of the fog with a purple haze over him, and from there, the Purple Cat was born. And this is some man that somehow was legally walking around our high school, around teenagers, drunk, and he told us that story. So that's how the Purple Cat was born.
That is so
All right, hey,
fitting.
all right.
I like it.
That is amazing.
Greatest mascot story ever. Fight me for it. And also, I got one more. I got one more for you. Robert's Ribs. Good or bad?
Where is that? Is that in Ayrton?
Yeah. That's like the one
I
restaurant you got.
Oh, okay. No, that must be brand new. But I tell you what, Robert's a great guy, and I love his ribs, man.
All right, so if you're ever in Ayrton, go see Robert, and apparently his ribs are good. So if I'm ever there, and actually I got one more for you. Do you got your national championship ring nearby?
Yeah, I got it. Hey, look at her here. I got our little wall. Let's see. What you want to see? So, fun thing about this one was actually built off of and around the Green Bay Packers national championship ring.
That's pretty.
Wow.
That's awesome. The whole thing is actually pretty cool. When we had our team meeting after we had won, they gave us you came in this box, and at that time you got an SEC ring, the BCS ring, and an NCAA. So you end up getting 3 rings.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow, that is awesome.
Pretty cool. And then my senior year at Auburn is when we went back to the Natty, but we did end up beating Missouri that year and won the SEC Championship against Missouri in 2013.
Yeah, y'all hammered Missouri in that game.
Nice.
Yeah. I got to play time in that game.
Nice. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Bo, and then we'll kind of go around the clock here. Bo, go ahead, man.
Okay. All right. So you played at Arrington's 1A?
Ayrton was 1A.
Okay. So what was it like going from 1A Arrington to SEC football? I mean, just everything, structure, speed, everything.
I tell you this, and y'all are familiar with this name, Sal Sinceri.
Right? Yes.
We go to Alabama football camp, and this is when I was committed to Alabama. And he said, "Sanders, get up here in the front and go through this ladder and show them how it's done." We didn't have these little speed ladders at Ayrton. I have never been through a speed ladder a day in my life. So I get up there, I start going through a speed ladder, and I look, God, they've already offered me. I'm thinking in my head after I got done with it, I was like, they're about to pull my scholarship because it was so bad. You know, like to piggyback, kind of to tell you about that, like everything everybody else was doing, we did not do that at a 1A program. Indy, you didn't do Indy. We had 2 coaches. We had a head coach, and we had our other coach was the defensive coordinator. The head coach was the offensive coordinator, and then we had a guy that would volunteer because he worked at chicken houses during the day, and he would come volunteer in the afternoon.
I was going to say, was that the peace pipe guy?
Let me go ahead and tell you, you got 3 coaches. So you did no Indy drills. You did half line. You ran all your plays to the right. You took your left side of the offense and you let them go play defense. I know that sounds podunk. That's exactly how you did it, man. That's the only way we could do it. So the first time I ever did a Indy drill was by freshman at Auburn.
Wow. And then I've got 2 more questions, and one that I'm going to save the best one for last. But the difference in recruiting as a player when you were being recruited, and what's the difference as a coach now that you are trying to help get your players recruited? Just kind of take us through that. What's that like for you?
Well, the first thing that pops in my head is the transfer portal, because you got new hires. 5 days after they're hired, you get a 14-day window. You can jump in a transfer portal. January 2nd to January 16th. You got 2 weeks. You can jump in a transfer portal. I think college coaches now are looking. They're not looking for a player that they can put in the oven and bake and get him just right. They want microwave players that are ready to go, because if they don't have players and they're not successful, they're out. So it's kind of one of those deals. Very rarely anymore are people actually just getting players there and keeping them to recruit, like in these Power 4 schools. Now, I was proud to see, I think Troy signed 31 guys yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw that. Yeah, they ended up signing like 30 or 31 guys. So that's kind of good to see, high school kids getting signed again.
Yeah, I saw USC sign like 34. I was like, good gracious, what in the world?
Yeah.
But okay, in the last one, please tell everybody about when you were being recruited. Please tell them your Kirby Smart story. It's an all-timer. You guys are gonna love Kirby even more after you hear this.
Okay. Yeah. First off, I'm a huge Kirby fan. I talked to him after he was my recruiting coach, so he recruited my area. So he would always come to the high school to see me. And for some people that don't know, like, even though I play defensive line, you might have the wide receivers coach be in charge of your area, so he would come see you. Well, Kirby was in charge of the Ayrton, that Dale County area, so he would come and visit and be my recruiting coach. Well, this was at the time where Gene Chizik and the rest of the Auburn coaching staff rode around in the limousine. I can't remember what they called it. They had a name for it, but they would all ride around in the limousine, and they'd all pile out at your school and come up and do whatever. Well, the limousine had showed up at Ayrton High School, which we already talked about it being 1A, so the whole place had kind of shut down. And, they're out there and they're talking to me. And this is all coaches. This is every one of them, offense and defense. And I'm sitting there talking to them. All of a sudden, here comes Kirby Smart. And he walks right up in the middle of all of them, puts his arm around me, walks off with me, and he goes, "You got to have a set of nuts to do something like that. That's why you need to come to Alabama and play for me, son."
That's amazing.
That's a great story.
It's awesome.
That's a great story. Brant.
And I can 1,000% see him doing that too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Brant, you got anything for our special guest?
I got two for you. Number one, so I went to UMS. So, we were 4A when I was there. So, but I think now they're 5. I think they're 5A now. So I graduated with 98 kids. At a 1A school, how many kids did you graduate with?
37.
Oh my
bad.
4?
4. Yeah, right. 37. Dude, it's one of those 1A schools. You know everybody K through 12, man. It was 37. I ended up graduating early in December and enrolled at Auburn, but I wanted to come back for graduation. So I ended up coming back for graduation. It only took 30 minutes, and I was back on the road going back to Auburn.
Wow.
So that's my first one. My second one. So obviously the kick six happens. Jay Prosh went to school with us. So so I know that he comes back all the time, and I think he lives in Mobile now.
He does. Yeah.
But he's a good dude. But anyway, so I know during the kick six, all right, kick six happens. Y'all win the football game. Auburn fans storm the field. Y'all just ruined Alabama season. Yeah, whatever. So y'all get on the field. I know it's all cool when people rush the field, right? Number one, about how long did it take for you to get annoyed with all these people on the field around you? You can't move. And number two, how long did it take to get all of them off the field? And number three, how much crap were y'all missing from the field after they left it?
Oh, man. I tell you this, because I've talked to somebody about that before. So it happens, right? And I'm standing by Kenny Carter. I'll never forget it. So he runs by us. He scores. We all run down there. When you turn around, all you do is see just a mass of people, right? So by the time, and this is not exaggerating, I know people just say a number, but this is for real. It took an hour and a half to get back to our field house. Now that wasn't just constant walking. We were stopping and kind of talking to people or whatever. But by the time we got to the 50-yard line, the buzz was gone from winning a game. You're just trying to get to the dang locker room. And by the time we get in the locker room, Malzahn and them have already done their spiel. It's empty. I mean, there's probably 4 or 5 of us, the seniors, because that was our last game in Jordan-Hare. So everybody else is already cleared out. So and what was taken, there's no telling. I don't know. There's probably some ashes poured on the field. I feel like somebody's always walking around with ashes in their pocket. Hey, we beat them. I'm throwing grandma on the field. You'll love it.
Hey, I'm sure that happens here too. I guarantee that'll probably happen once or twice. Boo
Yeah.
Bird, you got anything for Mr.
I
Craig here?
do. I do. We just talked about the kick six. Outside of that moment, what would you say would be one moment that you've held on to? Maybe, whether it be your biggest, I don't know, something you're not going to forget. One moment outside of that kick six at Auburn that you have just held forever.
All right, I got two. I'll give you, and I think I got the. Oh, I do. Okay, all right. So, let's see
It's
right here.
pulling out the research.
This is one of my favorite moments right here. Okay, so it wasn't this actual play, but that's in 2013. We went and played Texas A&M. That's Johnny Manziel.
Oh,
So they ran a reverse. I don't know why in 2013. I think they just saw, hey, there's that white defensive end out there. Let's run the reverse on him. So I got like 3 or 4 reverses ran on me, like Texas A&M, Tennessee. Anyways, Texas A&M tried to run a reverse on me. Well, on the reverse, Johnny tried to block me. So I get off his block, make a play. And I didn't make a lot of plays. This is a big deal for me. So then, boom, make the play, make the tackle. And when we go to get up, he slaps me on the butt and says, hell of a play, dude. And I was like, I appreciate it. Because I was a big Johnny Manziel guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I love that. My second one was my sophomore year. We're playing Mississippi State at Auburn. And it comes down to the last play of the game. And I was in on it. And we ended up, they tried to run the ball. I just went against the tight end. I didn't do nothing spectacular. I just took on my block. And then one of my teammates, Ryan, ran down and hit the quarterback right in the legs. And he goes down on the 1 yard line and we win the game.
Nice.
That one always sticks out to me.
Nice.
good
nice.
moments.
All right.
I got one more question. One more question.
Come
Do you
on.
remember your first tackle? I mean,
Yes.
Wouldn't-
So my freshman year, I was a big special teams guy. Got a lot of special teams, unless we were beating the crap out of people, which we actually ended up doing a lot that year. That's the national championship year. We were playing Arkansas State, and I ran down on kickoff and maneuvered through and wrapped up the dude on a kickoff and got him down. And for some reason from there, it just kind of figured it out. Ended up having 4 or 5 tackles that game on kickoff. So that was back when you could actually kick it off and they were returning them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Concussions all around. So that's what.
Right.
I actually have one more thing. The 2010 game where y'all came back and won in Tuscaloosa. Kind of go through like the mindset and the emotions of going down 21-0 and then coming back and winning that game like you did.
Yeah. If you talk about just the atmosphere of that game and the weather, it's still to this day the coldest game I've ever been in as a player or a coach. We were burning our pants on the sidelines, standing by the heaters because of how cold it was. You get down like that, and that team that year, if you think about it, we win in overtime against Clemson. You beat Mississippi State, who was pretty decent at the time, by a field goal. You had a lot of games where we showed grit and like resiliency, like and didn't give up. When we went into halftime as a player, I don't remember nobody just clearly just kind of like, it wasn't one of those ones where you walk in at halftime, everybody's kind of got their head down, like we just got our butt beat. It was more like everybody was like just pissed off at what we had put on the field in the first half, and then second half stuff just started coming together. Man, you got Emory Blake, you got Terrell Zachary, you got the throwback to Lutzy. The game-changing moment of that game that I love, and I'm a D-line coach now, and I love showing it to my D-line.
Nick Fairley
is my man Hot Boy Antonio runs down the running back and punches out the ball.
Yeah.
Back.
Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram, yeah. And that was the big momentum swing in my eyes that kind of changed the whole game because he was going down to score, I think, to make it 28-0 or 28-3 or 7, whatever it was, you know.
Yeah.
I think that would have been the nail in the coffin, really.
Well, then the next possession didn't Nick Fairley sack strip McElroy, and that was another one too there.
To Charvin Bell at the end snatched him back, and that's what put him out.
Yeah.
You know, when they were trying to drop down, but yeah, as we were doing like the actual like trying to come back on them, Nick Fairley became a game wrecker. So.
And the crazy thing about the punching the ball out from Mark Ingram is that ball rolled about 15 to 20 yards right down the sideline, perfect end over end, right out of the end zone. And,
Mhm.
it's that ball tends to make some weird bounces. That thing stayed right on a straight line. That was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I also
Antoine
remember,
Carter.
yeah, and
Antoine Carter is the one that punched it out.
he did, and I also remember at halftime thinking we're not going to win this game if we have to score a touchdown in the second half because I mean I watched Auburn enough that year, and
Second half
y'all,
team.
yeah, y'all came back a lot, and I knew if we didn't score a touchdown, that game was over, and I guess I manifested it, so I guess it's my fault.
And hey, and one last thing, kind of take us through that game against Oregon in the championship. I mean, you guys they had a really good run offense. Of course, they were running against Pac-12 defenses. I mean, you guys just absolutely just shut the run game down. Just kind of take us through some of the prep, and some of the things
You're asking my old mind to go back 15 years ago. All right.
Sure.
So I can't exactly remember where we practiced that leading up to the week. I can't remember whose facilities that we used. Whenever you go to things like that, like bowl games, or you go to the championship games, and you're using other people's facilities, it's really not. It's really usually the nicest things there are, so you don't really miss a beat because they usually have all the equipment you normally would use at home or wherever you're practicing. Uh, like I said, I was more in special teams during that time. So even like prepping for during like practice with scout team and the D line, like I was over with the D line, not the scout team going against, but I'm not getting any reps. I mean, we're getting ready to play the national championship, and I'm just kind of a role guy at the time. But going into that game, playing in the Arizona Cardinals Stadium, I can just remember being mesmerized because like we talk about that 1A school. That's my freshman year. That's the biggest stadium I played in, thus far going into that. But we talk about moments that change games. That's the Michael Dyer run there that ends up, they don't call him down. He keeps running, and Wes Byram ends up kicking it through. But all that's kind of a blur, man. It really is. But I hate it. It's kind of cool because I didn't really appreciate it because when you come in as a freshman and you have all that success as a freshman, you think that's the norm. And then you go into the next year and you're like, oh, we got to go to the Chick-fil-A Bowl. It's not a knock, which is okay, But then the next year you're 3-9, and you're like, holy crap, this is awful. And then you get to end your career like the way we did in 2013 with the biggest turnaround, And but it was great 4 years at Auburn.
I was going to ask about that too, the whole Gene Chizik phenomenon, as I like to call it. Was there like a moment when y'all realized like maybe like this isn't the guy? Like as a player, like I know it's easy to look from the outside in and everything like that, but as a player, is there ever a time when you're like, maybe this isn't the guy?
Yeah, I don't. Me personally, I may have had teammates that did. I can't remember, but me personally, I never really like even that year that we went 3-9. I never once like in my head or to a teammate said, "Man, we went 3-9 because of Gene Chizik." Like you know what I mean? I was more of the type like, "What the hell are we doing?" Like like a lot like the player wise, kind of like we're 3-9 because number one, who do we have making plays on offense, and who do we have tackling on defense? Me included. You know what I mean? I'm like, so I think it was just a down year talent wise. Because if you go back, I think, and you look at our 1 to 2 deep on O&D, including myself, it does not match up very well.
All right, well, Mob, let us know what you think. Craig, if you want to, we have a lot of Auburn guys that watch the show, and we also know that you have a podcast that you do. Why don't you talk about that for a second?
Man, I appreciate that. So I got a podcast that I started up that is Cleats to Seats, and it's basically me hanging up the cleats and going to the seats and approaching football at every angle. And so this show is a show that's for the fans, the players, and the coaches. And I have a guy that I bring on that's kind of my Auburn insider, and I have another guy that comes on. Brody Brown's my Auburn insider, and I have Craig Stevenson that comes on that talks some Tide Talk. And, they do about 4 to 5 minutes of each one. And the main focus on my show is I'm trying to get a high school coach in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, and I'm giving them the spotlight. So if you take Jeremy Williams from Kinston High School, tell us about, your daily life in Kinston. what does a pregame meal look for like for you guys? When's your football period? And I'm kind of giving them just a spotlight to kind of talk about themselves, the accolades they've done, their school where they're at and stuff, and kind of give other people like insight of what it's like to coach other places, because some people just have been at the place their whole career, and don't realize what maybe some other coaches throughout the state have to go through to be successful. So I dropped episode 2 this morning. If you'd like to go check it out, it's on YouTube. You could look up Cleats to Seats, and feel free to like and subscribe. And I appreciate you letting me give a little plug right there.
All right, you heard the man, Mob. It's for Alabama and Auburn. He don't discriminate. He's got his Auburn gear on. We got our Bama gear on. Look, we got common ground, guys. We don't have to hate each other 365. Just one day a year. That's all it takes. So go look up Cleats to Seats on YouTube. Give him a like. Give him a subscription, guys. Go sub for him. And Craig, we thank you. Thank you so much for being on here, man. Thank you for taking 45 minutes of your evening to spend some time with us. Even though the podcast is 4th and 31, that was Scott's idea.
Oh, my wife will love that. She's an Alabama fan, so no, hey, thank you guys, man. I enjoyed it.
All right, so she's literally your better half.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, again, we kid. All right. Well, thanks, Craig, and for the Coach Bo. I'm the Chad Bullock, Brant, and the Boo Bird. We will see you next time. Peace out, guys. I gotta stop it. I was waiting for Scott. I forgot I was hosting. I was like, all right, Scott. Oh crap, that's me.